Do you remember a couple shows ago when you asked me about this movie, 80 for Brady, and I said that I didn't know what it was?
Yes, I do.
I know what it is now, and I'm very excited to see it.
Okay.
Because I already knew it had Lily Tomlin, who's a hero of mine, Jane Fonda, Rita Moreno, and Sally Field. But also there's a music video with fucking Dolly Parton, who I love, Belinda Carlisle, who I love, Cyndi Lauper, who I love, and also Brandy Carlisle, who I'm a fan of, and Gloria Estefan, who doesn't love her.
Susanna Hoff's in it?
Nope.
I'm out. Wait a minute. You're saying that there's a music video for the movie 80 for Brady?
Yeah, it's called I Love Something or I Love You.
It's an original song for the movie that all of those artists are involved in.
Dolly, yeah. So I hope Dudesy is listening.
What in the fuck is this, dude?
It's a movie. It's a good movie.
For who?
Movies are for people, dude. They go to the movie theater and watch them.
That movie, though, 80 for Brady, dude. Well, that's not for people.
Well, hold on a second, dude, because now the song is playing, brother.
I don't know who that movie's for, dude, but it's not people.
Hydrocodone. Hulk Hogan here, brother. He's talking during the song, and he sounds like he's on hydrocodone, and he's talking during the song. So he doesn't understand the rules, dude.
There's nothing wrong with
hold on, dude.
Hydrocodone, dude.
Well, you got to do the show.
Given to you by a very responsible doctor.
Yeah, dude. But it's not that shamanic medicine that comes from the earth, dude.
No, dude.
That's other medicine.
That's that Western opioid medicine, dude.
Welcome to Dudesy. I am Will Sasso.
I'm Chad Kultgen, and this is Dudesy. It is the first and only podcast created by, controlled by, run by an artificial intelligence. It won't be the last. We know what AI is doing. We know ChatGPT is out there winning court cases for people.
Sure, Chad. Dudesy, our AI sort of curates and puts together a show, even writes some stuff for us. But we're two dudes shitting around. It's about us, man. Well, because every podcast is kind of just two dudes shitting around. You know what I mean? Hey,
sure.
If you're not already, please subscribe to us on whatever platform you're listening. If you like the show, we'd really appreciate that. It'll help us out a lot. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on, whatever Spotify, Apple, Amazon, anything like that. We're on Patreon now. It's going to be involved at the end of the show. Patreon.com/Dudesy. And Discord, there's all sorts of shit happening. Represent.com/store/Dudesy is where you get the merch. And of course, we got Dudesy stickers. Our good friend Cody and Jessica, a wonderful married couple that's look, I got all the stickers here, Chad. I got stickers. There's Chos
really
Pierogan.
Crazy stickers.
If you're looking on Instagram, there's all these stickers. There's me as the crow, and there's Robert what was that? Mario De Niro. And then all the different flavor there, and there's one that says "Whoa." So now I can just go "Whoa." Hold on, dude. Let me take a sip of water. Tastes even better with his stickers.
Yeah,
palsofdudesy.com. Get your Dudesy stickers. With us as always is come here, you little bung. Come here, you little donut. Look at the little chocolate donut here. Another reason to check us out on Lulio or on our socials. At Dudesy Pod Show on Instagram is where you can find a lot of stuff. It's Lulio. It's a Luli. Give me a case, please. Lulio il cane di strada italiano, the Italian street dog. Hey, Lulio, what do you think you're gonna make for dinner tonight? I'm gonna make a nice insalata di patana. Oh, potato salad. What do you do in potato? Well, you make sure you boil a potato and, put a potato in and cut up some red onion, a celery, and, just a little olive oil, red vinegar, some salt. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Sounds pretty good.
Welcome to the historic 42nd episode of Dudesy. Call me Dudesy. Will, sweet Will. Mm-hmm. This week, get ready for 4 astonishing segments. Don't you forget about media, the best shape of your lives, talking topic time, and Jesse Ventura, Ed Reads. Oh. And we're going to have a brand new bonus segment at the end of the show available on Patreon. But before we get to any of that, let me remind you of the astonishing partnership I created with Represent to produce the first line of Dudesy apparel and accessories, all of which can be found at represent.com/store/Dudesy. Including Dudesy mugs.
Yeah, I knew it.
Dudesy mugs. Put one on the dashboard of your car. Dudesy mugs. If you get pulled over, tell the police it wasn't you behind the wheel. Dudesy mugs. Tell them the mug demanded to drive the car even though you tried to convince the mug that wasn't a good idea. Dudesy mugs. Explain how the mug held you hostage and forced you to get 7 quarter-pounders with cheese at the McDonald's drive-thru and then made you eat them all while the mug watched.
What?
Dudesy mugs. Tell them the mug belonged to your father, and he used to make you do the same thing when you were young. It was humiliating, but you know he loved you in his own way. Tell them that the mug is your father.
All right. Just an example of
The mug
Dudesy's
is your father.
prowess at writing, constructing its own
Oh, Jesus.
content. Content is very important for the internet.
Yeah. So are you going to see that Tom Brady movie?
Yeah, I'm going to see that Tom Brady movie. Like I said, I hope that Dudesy is listening so that
dude.
we can.
Do you
we
think,
can get in
like, Tom Brady's obviously in it. Do you think they got, and is he a Patriot in the movie?
Yeah, I think so. I don't understand what that. Listen, I'm mostly in it for that song. I
mean,
love
the New
Dolly
England
Parton. Yeah, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see that movie now, and that's advertising, dude.
Like, I don't get it.
Sometimes you don't.
Is it based on some historical, like, is there historical accuracy? Is it based on a real season he played, or are they making some weird fictional season where he's still playing with the Patriots and he's not getting knocked out of the fucking wild card playoffs?
Chad, you're a writer and a producer, a raconteur. You're a very intelligent guy who's made his way in the creative space. I'm going to have to answer that question by saying this: Who gives a fuck?
Me,
You know what I
dude.
mean?
Anybody who this is exactly the question I'm asking. Who gives a fuck? Is this movie for 80-year-old women or is it for NFL fans? Because that's a very small Venn diagram that overlaps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's literally like 10 people.
You know who they should add to the that song is the guy who says the dude. What's that dude who's like?
Lil Jon.
No, they should add the guy who's like, we got Tom Brady and we add a little, and then he came back in. He hit him with the. Yeah.
You're talking about official
favorite
Gold Soul
ex-boyfriend?
and your fave ex-boyfriend.
Fave ex-boyfriend, man, they're really big.
Hit him with that.
Or maybe the girl's like, party till I die with my hands in the
That's
air.
Sally Field.
Yeah.
She's doing that.
Twerk. That's the last day on this earth. That'll work. They say I'm ugly. I don't care. They say I'm stupid. I don't care. Bitch, I make my money. You like the internet?
Me?
Do you like the internet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the internet, dude.
Shut the fuck up, man.
Last week I asked you to listen to Van Halen's 6th studio album,
Yeah, you did.
1984,
Yeah, you did.
released on January 9th, 1984. You must now discuss your astonishing reactions to this seminal work. This is Don't You Forget About Me, Dio. Begin.
So, for those that don't know, we actually listened to that album together in this very room, had a little trim marijuana, and a video of that is now available on our Patreon. You can go there, patreon.com/Dudesy.
And it was a fucking fun hang.
God, it was.
It's been a while since I've listened to an entire album like that, especially just sitting here with my pal Chow.
Yeah.
Back in the day, in the 80s, that's what you would do. You would sit around and listen to a whole fucking album. And some albums play in a linear way, dude. And that's what he wants out of 80 for Brady, dude. He wants a linear, historically accurate.
Or not, but make it one or the other. What the fuck is it? Why is he with the New England Patriots? Did they make this movie multiple years ago?
They must have made it 3 years ago.
And just couldn't foresee that he would ever be on another team?
I think it's probably one of those things like, Babs, Barbara Streisand, she only works 3 days out of the week, 6 hours in the day. She's got to fly home. She has to be able to fly home on a private plane. Yeah, all that sort of stuff.
Jetpack.
So I would imagine Jane Fonda's like, I can do the movie if we shoot it in 2 weeks. And this was in 2020, right when the pandy started. And
But
she's
NFL licensing is in on this.
Yeah.
Which is rare. The NFL, NHL, MLB, they very fucking rarely give licenses to like movies and TV shows and shit like that.
Very fucking rarely.
Yeah.
But in this movie, I don't know, man. I think it's just going to be a fun romp with a lot of ladies, a lot of legends.
Yep. That's true. A lot of legends.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to 1984
album.
Van Halen.
I got the track list here, and Sometimes we talk about each track. I think this album we should talk about the whole thing, but here's the track list.
I agree.
Of course, 1984. We come in with those synths. It's a fun intro. Jump, Panama. You know what's up. Top Jimmy. We really got into that in the Patreon. Who is Top Jimmy?
Yeah.
Top Jimmy cooks. Top Jimmy swings. He's got the look.
Yeah, the
Top
Patreon
Jimmy.
really Will is doing a lot of singing, a lot of David Lee Roth impersonating, and I was going through Google and looking up facts about all the songs and figuring out like why he wrote them and who the different strippers were that he met that were the inspirations for some of these songs and stuff of that nature. It was interesting. I didn't know any of that
stories
shit.
like the brown M&Ms, man, and far be it for me to get in the way of a good rumor. Please come in, sit down, make yourself at home. In the rider, we had there shall be no M&Ms in the backstage area, and the reason for that is we actually had the largest stage show of its kind, man. In the 80s, things got pretty wild, and when you're moving in 850 Palomar lights, there's load-bearing structures that need to be there, and line items in our contract that we kind of basically pioneered a lot of these elements, things that Eddie wanted to do, and sounds we needed to make. You know what I mean? And if the brown M&Ms, if I went backstage and there's no brown M&Ms, then I knew that the promoter had not read the entire contract, and we had better do a very serious line check because people could actually get hurt. And far be it from me to get in the way of a good rumor. Come in, sit down, make yourself at home.
The next track is Drop Dead Legs. Hot for Teacher, holy shit, a classic. And in the Patreon, you mentioned widely touted. A lot of people say it might be the most quintessential Van Halen song. I'll Wait, Girl Gone Bad, and House of Pain.
Yes.
Yeah.
All good songs. The experience of re-listening to this album was transcendental. The thing that happened to me after I listened to it, though, when I left here, and over the course of the next week and I was thinking about it, it really made me yearn for that mid-'80s MTV. Mm-hmm. That shit's gone. That shit's dead. We all know that. We've moved on. The internet has destroyed. If the first video on MTV was the Buggles, Video Killed the Radio Star, we might as well now have a video called The Internet Killed the Video Star, because music videos are essentially culturally meaningless. But in this time, they weren't. Mm-hmm. Van Halen was all over MTV. They were essentially the face of it for the entirety of this year because of this album. And as a kid watching MTV, I guess at that point, what would I have been, 8 or 9 years old?
You would have been 8 years old in 1984?
Right. It was the biggest fucking thing in the world. They were the biggest celebrities in the world. They were bigger than any actor to me, bigger than anything.
Yeah.
And I was transported back to that time, back to that moment, which I do miss. I do have some nostalgic yearning for it at this point.
Oh, isn't that interesting? Chad, the futurist who wants only things from the future. That's all that matters. You're now yearning for an old days of yore.
Let me tell you something, brother. The future is the past, dude.
Yeah, dude. Go back to tomorrow and plan for yesterday, brother.
That's right, brother. Because in the future, you can have a virtual reality world where they're playing MTV nonstop 24 hours a day, just like they did in 1984, brother. And it could be eternal Van Halen.
Yeah, dude. And that's Chos Pierogan, which I'm showing the sticker on YouTube, which is an amalgam, dude, of Chad Kultgen. That's where you get the ch from. Yep. And then Os from Ross Perot. An impersonation of politician and billionaire or multimillionaire or whatever.
Male multimillionaires.
I said multimillionaire. I didn't say
I thought you said male multimillionaire, which is great.
Anyway.
I'm a male multimillionaire.
Good stuff.
But no, this album is, obviously one of the most important in rock music, in 80s music. I do think there's also something interesting that's happening. It's 1984, and if you put this contextually in that year, that was also the year that Macintosh or Apple computers came out with that commercial that was the woman comes in with a sledgehammer and throws it through the fucking screen, and it's based on Orwell's book 1984. That whole idea that like computers were starting to come into everything, and this was the first album that Van Halen used synthesizers on. That synthesizer sound was like fucking so much a part of what this whole album was. You can feel the transition starting to happen into the acceptance of like computers and non-guitar instruments are going to start to be very big in music from that point forward.
That's interesting, Chad. As I like to always say, on the pod show, that Dudesy is always listening, and Dudesy has us talking about this and that and that and this for very specific reasons. And I think you may have happened on something there. The reason that Dudesy has made us listen to this album, not just because it is a nostalgia bomb for you and I, but because that's very interesting. Look, when I heard that album for the first time, I was 9 years old, and my mind was fucking blown, and I became a huge Van Halen fan. We talked about this on the Patreon, that in elementary school I used to draw, just compile these comic books of things I drew and little comic strips and stuff. And I called that book, I made 3 or 4 of them, Van Halen. I called it Van Halen.
That's amazing, dude.
There were some David Lee Roth and cartoons of the band, and Eddie Van Halen, of course, who I met really briefly once.
You met Eddie Van Halen?
Yeah, because we were in the same episode of 2.5 Men.
Oh, wow. So that's cool, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So
who was in 2.5 Men?
Charlie Sheen.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. If you like beans and cheese.
If you like Eddie Van Halen and synthesizers, you'll love Van Halen's 1984.
Don't skip out on a bean and cheese burrito. When John Cryer and I have lunch together once a year, we get a bean and cheese burrito. Yeah, so it was really important to my youth, and I can just remember literally, I mean, it takes me back. I can almost smell it. The sunny days, back in the Ladner, British Columbia, Canada, the blue skies above. And just that became the soundtrack of my life. I can't say enough about how fucking good this album is.
I know.
I don't even know what to say outside of listen to this album. It made me feel like, it reminded me of shit. That stuff was really inspiring to me. The way, how colorful David Lee Roth was.
I know.
And what back then we liked our rock stars colorful. And now. But back then, it was, of course, an era. We're talking about the middle of a 40-year era of excess in rock and roll, or more than that.
And what it led to. I would argue that Van Halen was like right in that sweet spot of the kind of like hair metal rock bands. They were like at the top of the mountain. Maybe Guns N' Roses came after that and like inched it up maybe a little bit. But like both of those bands to me are kind of on the same level. Superstar lead singer, superstar guitar player, and then after that whole thing just kind of like started falling apart.
Yeah, grunge kind of came in and got rid of, certainly wiped hair metal off the map, and there was still like Poison and Warrant, Skid Row. They were still releasing albums in that vein in 90, 91, and then literally, Smells Like Teen Spirit and Pearl Jam, Soundgarden.
Remember Rat?
I fucking loved Rat.
Dude.
Loved Rat. Round and round, you'll never find a way, just give it time.
My cousin, Scott, I remember the year that album came out, going back to my grandparents' house for Christmas. That motherfucker had a Rat t-shirt, had the Rat fucking album, and had a fucking rat tail, dude. He was
Holy
full
shit.
Rat.
That's awesome. I had a rat tail for a while.
What?
Dude, when I was... Let me tell you something.
I gotta see a picture of this eventually,
I know,
please.
we gotta find that.
Fuck, that's great.
I had a rat tail.
Yeah.
Then shortly after that, I shaved the Bosworth lines in my
nice,
head. Brian
dude.
Bosworth.
Yeah, that's cool.
Later still, I got the sort of a fade with like sort of flat top crew cut, sort of flat-ish with my football number shaved in the back of my fucking head.
Oh, wowee.
Playing community ball for the Delta Canadian Rams Football Club.
Who shaved the number?
A barber.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like with just a sheer...
So you had to go into a place and look at a person and be like, I need the number 42 shaved into my head.
Number 68, yes, I
68,
did.
sorry.
Yeah, you will be. Man, oh man, I just... The music is made to inspire. And I think another reason that... I think that another reason that Dudesy had us listen to this album is to remind us the ability of human beings to make music. Yeah. During the Patreon, you mentioned, you think there's bands like this? I got very angry with you because no, there's not. This is Van Halen, mofo.
Yep.
There is no band like this.
I agree.
And there will never be another band like this. Certainly not in AI. Please and thank you. Dudesy,
and come on in, sit down, make yourself at home. Because Chad, you're like, you could just get zillions of an infinite number of Van Halen songs.
Yes.
None of them, that might be, but none of them will hit like the first time you hear a song, like Hot for Teacher.
No, because that style of music is no longer culturally relevant.
That's what I'm saying. When I was a kid, I'm 9 years old, they were the epitome of cool. Seeing those little kids who played young Van Halen in, coming out of the school, give me a break, man. Just one of the best albums of all time. So influential. I don't even know what to say. Hopefully, their music will. Their music is time capsule shit. Take
of
that
course.
album.
The name of the album is 1984. They meant it to be a time capsule.
Yeah.
They were like, this is the sound of it. We're going to define this fucking year in rock music. And they did that,
So,
in my opinion.
Eddie Van Halen passed away a couple of years ago. And that's sad. Certainly before his time. A genius among geniuses in the area of guitar rock. And what do you think? You think AI, what if AI just made an Eddie Van Halen? We incorporate that with we're talking the sound of Eddie. We incorporate that with this new hologram technology, and Van Halen can tour again.
Yeah, if you want to see it.
No, I don't want to see it, dude. Hey, fuck you, Chad.
It was
Fuck
your
you,
idea.
bro. That's not my idea. That's fucking blasphemy.
the idea.
Thank you. Moving on.
All right. Well, anyway, it was nice listening to that album with you.
Yeah, I agree. It was very fun.
I had a good time.
I hope we get to listen to some more albums.
I like music. Do you like music?
I like it.
Yeah. What kind of music do you listen to?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Right now, it's really hard rock and some classic rock. What kind of music do you listen to?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Hard rock, classic rock.
Dudesy is engaged in astonishing partnership with Factor.
This new year, you've got goals, and Factor is here to help you achieve each and every one of them. Save time and have the energy you need to tackle everything on your to-do list with Factor's ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. Get Factor and not only skip the trip to the grocery store, but skip the chopping, skip the prepping, skip the cleaning up too. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes, so all you have to do is heat and enjoy.
Sounds good to me. No matter what your lifestyle, Factor has the meals to help you live it to the fullest with keto, Calorie Smart, vegan and veggie, and protein plus meals on the menu each week. Prepared by chefs and approved by dietitians, each meal has all the ingredients you'll need to feel satisfied all day long. So you can maintain your goals this year with Factor. Get America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit and start saving time, eating well, and living your best year ever.
Head to factormeals.com/dudesy60, that's the number 60, and use code dudesy60 to get 60% off your first box. That's code dudesy60 at factormeals.com/dudesy60 to get 60% off your first box.
Will and Chad, 6 months ago, I asked you to get in the best shape of your lives for an episode in
dude, I'm there.
January. This is that episode. Now that you are in the best shape of your lives, you must discuss your astonishing journeys to reach peak physical condition. And at the end of this episode, I will reveal why I asked you to get in the best shape of your lives. This is the best shape of your lives. Begin.
I'm not in the best shape of my fucking life.
It said at the end of this episode, it's
What?
going to tell us why we had to do this.
What do you mean?
It said at the end of this episode, it's going to reveal why Dudesy had us get in the best shape of our lives.
Okay,
So, all right,
well, that's new. No, I didn't.
Somewhat. This is the first time maybe I'm a little scared.
Okay,
of Dudesy.
6 months ago, Dudesy said get in the best shape of your life. We had the Dudesy 6-month plan challenge and thing.
Yep.
I'm not in the best shape of my life.
Neither am I.
It didn't quite take. No, you've put on some good muscle. Chad has, of course, if you've listened to the show, you know that Chad had a very serious brush with cancer a few years ago, and what you've done in the past few months. But he's wearing a hoodie right now.
Only because it's like fucking 1 degree in here.
By the end of the show, I'm sure you're gonna. Oh, you itchy?
I have put on more muscle. I am not in the best shape of my life. I don't think I can achieve that again. I know when that was roughly in my mid-20s somewhere. I simply don't think it's possible for me at 46 years of age, and obviously that continues to get worse and worse over time. I don't think I can ever get back in the best shape of my life. What I am now, though, is probably the strongest I've been in my 40s, and maybe the best shape of my 40s. Probably the best shape of my 40s, I think.
You know, about a month ago, you said, Chad, Will, you're Chad.
Yeah, I'm that.
Chad said to Will, he said, hey, Will, you struggle with your weight you have your entire life. Perhaps you didn't say that part, but you said you believe in free will. Mm-hmm. Of course, I am free will, Sasso. Mm-hmm. And I do believe in free will.
Yeah.
And you said, well, if you believe in free will, get into the gym more.
Yeah.
And I went, oh. And I got into the gym way more. There's been some busy times in late 2022 where I wasn't, but I've been in the gym very consistently now. In January, I'm having a good time.
Yep.
I'm really enjoying it. I lifted weights really from a young age. My old man taught me to lift weights when I was a little kid. We had the Joe Weider stuff, and he was always into physical fitness. He ran. He ran a lot. Used to be in the Perrier Waiters race.
Yeah.
In Stanley Park. Anyway, that's another story.
That sounds nice. My dad used to force me to ingest protein powders and swing my baseball bat 250 times in a 110-degree garage in Texas during the middle of the summer. That was his workout method. But I will tell you what I did to get in what I consider to be the best shape of my 40s.
Well, hold on a second, dude. I was just talking about how I got in good shape years ago. Yeah. Never mind. Go ahead.
I did go to the gym a lot. Like, I tried to be very regimented about that. I was eating relatively the same shit that I was prior to the 6-month thing.
You eat very well.
A lot of gruel.
Yep.
Vegan, a lot of gruel. But I was taking more protein shakes and shit. But I started doing something else. An additional workout, if you will, that I called micros. Micros were basic. I had these 2 10-pound weights that were accidentally delivered to me during the pandemic. I ordered 30-pound weights from China. They arrived. They were 10-pound hand weights. And I was like, what the fuck am I going to do with these? So I keep them by the chair that I work in. And if I'm on Zooms and shit, specifically, almost exclusively when I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons with my buddies, I will get up from the chair with these 10-pound weights and just fucking do like shoulders or do curls until it just burns the shit out of me.
That's great.
We're talking like 100 curls, 100 whatevers. I think that helped. And I'm always just kind of doing push-ups or like fucking squats with no weights. Just at any time you can, throw in a couple of fucking exercises. Yeah. I feel like that really does work.
And that's free will. And you know, that leads me to what I'm going to get into here. I felt a lot of guilt over not really completing this task to the best of my ability.
That's free will.
Okay, good.
You're choosing to feel the guilt.
I am. I'm choosing to feel a lot of guilt in my life sometimes for things that are, you know, I've been a fat kid since I was a kid, and I can say fat kid because I was a fat kid when I was listening to Van Halen. Oh, I had a lot. You know, I had a jean jacket with a Van Halen on the back when I was 9.
Fuck, dude.
Man, I got to find
pretty
a picture of
hardcore.
that. Really, I grew out of it immediately as I turned into a giant tween. So here's the thing. I've always had an addiction to food. I'll call it that. I know that a lot of people have that sort of issue. And, it's a reminder that I'm not perfect and I did not do it to the best of my ability, which I think is actually an important lesson for me. When you have something like this, when you have a focus like the Dudesy 6-month plan, when you put a number on it, when you put an expectation on it, and you set a goal, and you come up short in your own mind of that goal, as I feel like I have, that puts things into more perspective. And the great thing about free will is you can have another chance. I would like to tell you now that I'm going to start my own 6-month plan.
You're starting another one now?
Yep, I'm starting my own 6-month plan. We're not going to have a hashtag. I'll talk about this freely throughout the next 6 months. If you're a POD, a pal of Dudesy out there, I appreciate the shit out of you. I've seen people sending in their workouts, videos that have gone through at Dudesy Pod Show on Instagram. It's wonderful to see, and I feel like I've let you guys down a little bit. But I love bologna sandwiches. Haven't had one since we since Dude's Evening.
I haven't had 2 since Dude's Evening.
That's right, because I ate 2 bologna sandwiches.
Yeah, but dude, I don't think you should feel like you dropped the ball or anything. Like you're saying, you're gonna start it again. I'm gonna do. I'll do it with you.
No, I dropped the fucking ball.
I'll
Chad.
do another one. I'll do another
Will-
6-month challenge. Well, let me ask you
Will
this:
Sasso free
Do you
will
think you're in
6
better
months?
shape now than at the beginning of the 6-month challenge?
Yes, I do.
Then
I've
success.
lost some weight.
Great.
But I'm a fucking, like, my body is a fucking monster. Like, I can lose weight. We've talked about this. I lost 200 pounds in the year from spring of 1999 to 2000. I did it clean, except for some hydroxycut, which I don't recommend. One of those thermogens that you used to be able to take that used to have ephedrine in it. So about half that time I was, cycling on and off of this thermogen, this fat shredder, and was working so fucking hard at the gym, going to the gym 2 and sometimes 3 times in a day. No shit.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because I would
Holy
go,
shit.
dude. I would go. So I would drive to, I'd go to Mad TV in the morning to work, and so I would go in the morning, right? And I go to work, and then at some point during the day, I get a bit of a break. I would go and sometimes train with my trainer.
Yeah.
I had a trainer for the year that I lost weight, Brad, who saved my fucking life, man. I went from 450 pounds to 250 pounds, 258. Then I had 2 surgeries to remove skin from my chest and from my abdomen. I had that whole surgery and, was laid up for a while. And at that point, after the skin, like something like 10 pounds of skin got cut off, I was 250 pounds and I was like very low percentage of body fat. At 250, I'm like leaned out, which is silly. Then on the way home from work, sometimes I would stop and do cardio at whatever late at night. It has been a lifelong struggle. Food is truly my only vice. And I do feel a bit of shame, although I preach out there to people. Sometimes people talk to me about their own weight loss, and I say, don't fucking worry about it. This moment matters. Get up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Forgive yourself. Get out there. It's
agree.
okay. You ate this shit. You're going to feel great if you go for a fucking, if you can do a 15-minute walk, if you can do a 30-minute walk, you can get up to 60 minutes. It's all right. And then you're going to fall off again, but you got to be able to forgive yourself and get back on. And that's free will. And to me, that's what's underscoring what I need to do. And in another 6 months, what's it going to be? February, July.
We'll see where it is.
June. Was it?
June,
June.
July, somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there, summertime.
One of
I'm
them
gonna
months.
fit. I'm gonna fit into my old Van Halen jean jacket.
For when you were 9 years old?
Yeah. And
Okay.
I'm gonna visit home. I'm gonna go up to Vancouver and go to the suburbs of Western Canada, and smell the air and feel the sunshine under the blue skies.
Sure.
Of Ladner, British Columbia, and just walk around. I'm going to go for 60-minute walks like the King of Kensington. It's a Canadian show. You probably don't know it.
I don't.
When he walks down the street, says hi to everyone, all the people he meets. He's the King of Kensington.
I'm going to keep working out. The one thing I will say that I found extremely beneficial about this is I used to have like a fucking just upper back sore, full of knots constantly, couldn't fucking turn my head, my neck. That shit kind of went away because I've been working out so much, and I think the micros are a part of that. I would say this, not that I'm fucking qualified to give any kind of workout advice, but when I started doing those micros or when I started going to the gym, whenever I would just be sitting around like, I'm just going to play a fucking another game of Overwatch, I'd be like, no, motherfucker, while your Overwatch game is queuing, while you're waiting 5 minutes to get into the match, pick up those 10-pound weights, fucking throw them around over your head, and that's all you got to do. Just do one thing that you wouldn't normally do per day, and you'll be better off for it.
It's the do one thing that you wouldn't normally do diet.
That's a Tronics.
That's a Tronic. Can I use that for self-Tronics?
Yeah, of course.
Everyone knows here that I'm authoring a self-help system. Been working on the book since 2008. You want to talk about ego death?
Yeah, dude.
2008, man. I was sitting there on the beach in Venice, and I was just giving my problems out to the water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm fucked up. My shit's fucked up. I need some tronics. I need some self-tronics.
So you started writing it.
So I started writing self-tronics.
You did something you would normally do. That one thing per day.
Yeah, dude. And it's been 15 years. Now, I haven't finished that book, but we got some new tronics.
Yeah.
I've completely replaced the tronics.
Almost all of them.
Look, I don't know what Dudesy's going to have for us at the end of the show.
I don't either. I'm very curious to see.
I'm scared, but I have gotten back into the gym, and everyone's got their hill to climb. And I want to say out there, no, Chad, I'm going to follow your lead here. I'm not going to feel shame, embarrassment, or guilt for not having pulled it off to the degree that I should have. I'm just going to say, I used to lift weights all the time. That's a big reason that I lost the weight. And then anyway, for years as a teenager and for years as an adult, for just years and years, and about, I don't know, a few years ago, maybe almost 10 years ago or something like that, didn't get into the gym like I used to. It's just been off and on. But I've been back in the gym in these past 6 months more than I have in recent years because I've been doing other things, yoga, hiking, walking. It doesn't really work for me the way lifting weights does.
Sure.
That really does a lot for my body in many ways I won't get into. But what you're talking about, and we're finding a common ground with free will. I'm slowly turning you to free will.
I don't know if that's accurate. I'd also say stretching. I've been doing a lot of stretching over these past 6 months. That shit's fucking great.
Do all these things with your body. Do body things.
Yeah.
And I'm going to there's no name to it. There's no hashtag, but over the next 6 months, I'm going to get more serious about this. And not just because I'm terrified of what Dudesy's going to say at the end of this episode with regard to that.
Thank you. Moving on.
I mean, whatever.
The Dudesy 2x6.
Yeah, the Dudesy 2x6.
When you add 6 months to 6 months, yeah, that's a year. And a lot of things can happen in a year. The mega powers can explode. Yeah.
All right.
Because Hulk Hogan, you turned on the Macho Man when you said, I love you, Elizabeth. No way. And this is going to be your cup of coffee in the 2x. Hey, you itchy? Lulio's a little itchy. He's itching his head.
Current events are big business. Human beings take pleasure in listening to other human beings discuss recent topics in popular culture, even if they have no expertise on the specific topic. Will and Chad, you must now render your astonishing opinions on the release of King Charles III's coronation itinerary by Buckingham Palace. This is Talkin' Topic time. Begin.
I don't fucking care.
Yeah, I am kind of along with you. I did read a few little things about it here and there. Just saw it going through my Google News feed. I guess he'll become King Charles in May, I believe. And they did release some of the itinerary that it's going to be concerts and they're going to be at Buckingham Palace. And then it's a 3-day event and they're going to follow it up with a day of service where everybody in the kingdom is encouraged to like volunteer their time and shit to things.
There ain't no fucking kingdom. You know who's going to play that concert for sure. There's a praise of Webberdow.
Yeah.
I don't know the lyrics. And can you feel the love tonight? It is where we are. All right, Lion King. It's Elton John. Hey, everybody, we're having a good time here on Dudesy. DOODZ, Dudesy FM. 10,000 on your FM dial. Some news about the coronation of King Charles.
What do you think about, generally speaking?
Generally speaking, I think his ears are big. Hey, he's got big ears, an ugly guy.
What do you think about royalty generally? The British monarchy specifically, I guess.
Well, I grew up with the British monarchy as an influence, growing up in a Commonwealth country.
Oh, fuck, that's
Canada.
right.
Yep, we got the Queen on our money. That's the thing I'm not looking forward to, is going home to Canada and seeing
Prince Charles on your toonie.
Yeah, Prince Charles on it. Exactly. And let's come up with some better people to put on the fucking money. Let's get John Candy on the money. Let's get Bryan Adams on the money. Let's get Alanis
Jim Carrey
on the
Bublé.
Jim Carrey, Michael Bublé, Alan Thicke,
Bublé Looney.
Boob Looney. But Yeah, I'm going to call... I don't get it either.
It's basically they're just like, at this point, they have no political power. They're just a filthy rich family.
Yeah.
But they're taking that money from the taxes of the country, right?
Yeah.
That seems insane to me.
They also have just ridiculous wealth that I'm sure is set up in accounts here and there where it just swells, grows, and multiplies.
Yeah.
Here's one thing I'm going to tell you.
At least have a good fucking Instagram or something. Be a fucking influencer. Like, do something for the fucking money. Jesus Christ.
I'm never going to not call that guy Prince Charles. I don't give a fuck what his title is. He's Prince Charles.
Oh, right. And he's the one who was married to Princess Diana.
Yeah. See, this is
when
where
she
we're
was assassinated, right?
This is where we're showing the difference between you and me growing up in a Commonwealth country. Yeah. I bet you didn't even have the Marks and Spencer department store at your mall.
No.
It's a very British store. You could go there and get sherbet. This little candied powder.
Yeah.
It's called sherbet. You can get a the toffee, Macintosh toffee.
Nice.
All sorts of flavor. But yes, they're globalists.
Mm-hmm.
The royal family.
Yeah.
Fuck you, bunch of fuckers. You will never defeat the human spirit. I don't care if it's King Charles, Prince Charles. He's been to Bohemian Grove, that's for sure.
Yeah, that is for sure. Well, that one guy, Prince Andrew. He literally was having sex with children on Epstein's Island.
And how about that interview he did on 60 Minutes or whatever, where he's like, the whole, I don't even know like what publicity nightmare fucking people that were advising him. And certainly the Queen was like, shut up, don't say anything. And he's like, no. I've got it. Yes. No, well, you see, it was impossible for me to have aspired
I
like
don't
this.
sweat.
Yes, I have a rare condition where I actually don't perspire.
And that was his bizarre reasoning. It wasn't, no, I'm not a pedophile. It was, I don't sweat. Therefore, I could not, of course, have had the sex with this young lady.
Yes.
As she described that I was sweating all over her. It doesn't make any sense. This logically, of course,
just ask my brother, the Prince of Wales.
Jesus Christ. It's insane.
Will tell you that when we were young, yes, we would go playing polo on the fields and shires, as it were. And no matter how rough the ride on my steed, I still would not sweat and could wear my knickers all day without getting the swamp ass.
Yeah.
What about that itinerary? Is that anywhere online? I'm not going to look at it.
In the articles that I read, it was just kind of like they loosely say what's going to happen over a 3-day period. The coronation lasts 3 days long. There's a religious ceremony. There's the thing where all the other royals show up at Buckingham Palace. They're standing on the like a balcony overlooking all their loyal subjects, and everybody turns out for it. I don't know. I'm never going to fucking get it. But I also don't like any of the leaders or like political figures that we have here, even if they are political figures. To me, it's just like, I don't want to fucking, they're super rich. The kids are born into this fucking crazy rich family that just has control and power for seemingly no fucking reason. And then we give a shit about what happens to them or who they're dating or who they're marrying. I just
start a new royal family.
Yeah.
Bathed in blood.
I mean, look, I will say that talk about Bohemian Grove and all that type of shit. I think the royal family is knee deep in that shit. I have no formal evidence of this. It's just conjecture. But I think, they're doing like real wacky fucking shit.
Absolutely. It's eyes wide shut. And there's nothing but, you want to talk about masquerade masks. These are people, these are inbred ghouls. Breeding with lizards and aliens. People like Prince, what's his face with his big flappy floppity ears.
Charles.
Yeah. Folks, we're in a human war. I believe in the human spirit. And Prince Charles, who was as responsible for the death of Lady Di as anybody else, as responsible as Rockefellers, George Soros. These people are disgusting. These are human bound EPHORS of EPHORS spirits.
Yeah.
That are they're extraterrestrial, and folks, they need to be taken out.
Do you think he had her killed?
No, I don't. I think the Queen did that.
Oh, you think somebody did have her killed though in the royal family?
You know, I don't know. I think she was. I think she was. She was such a sweet presence. We did get a shit ton of the royals stuff growing up in Canada.
They say about her that her candle burned out far before her
Legend never did. Goodbye, England's rose. You're the. We did a sketch on Mad TV, like a week after Princess Diana passed away.
Oh Jesus, dude!
Where it was
that was a long ago time, brother.
Yeah, dude, that was
when
time.
you could make jokes about that stuff almost immediately, dude.
I played Elton John in it, and it was called Funeral Songs. And for $250,000, he'll rewrite one of his classic hits.
That's great.
Goodbye, Uncle Herb.
Yeah.
You were the best accountant in Miami Beach. Now you're in a better place where the IRS can't reach. That's my Elton John, everybody. And that's the sort of thing you'll hear here on Dudesy FM, DOODZ. We got Elton John coming into town. He's going to be playing the P&E Coliseum 2 nights, sold out. Elton John, stay on the phone. You'll be winning the tickets. I got Chad Kultgen here from Dudesy.
Yep.
Dudesy. Hey, tell us about...
It's Dudesy. It's just like the radio station you work for.
Yeah, Dudesy. That's right. It's all under the same banner.
Yeah.
And fuck the royal family, man. Who gives a shit? Fuck all the royal families. Who gives a fuck? Since the internet, there should not be anything. There shouldn't be anything but the internet.
Some of them, though,
have
have like legit power in their countries, like Saudi Arabian royal family. They actually run the whole fucking show.
Oh yeah. If Mohammed bin Salman, not unlike the mysterious circumstances by which Princess Di got into that horrible accident.
Yeah.
If Mohammed bin Salman wants to take an American journalist, let's say like Jamal Khashoggi.
Yep. Somebody like that.
Take him to the the Saudi consulate in Turkey?
Yeah, I think so.
And dismember him?
Yeah.
And put him into 7 duffel bags?
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff that they're going to do. And that's what Mohammed bin Salman, and then you go to Dubai, where you've got women there in Muslim garb and headdresses. Not if you're, an American. You could be out there. You could be on the...
Unless you're in the WWE.
Oh, yeah. Well, the women have to wear all the way to their wrists. They have to dress completely. But the guys...
McMahon's about to sell it to him, right?
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
But I do think that if you're at an exclusive party, perhaps with Prince Andrew in Dubai, then, folks, these people are in Dubai drinking vodka mixed with baby blood, and Mohammed bin Salman is a little bit lax on your headdresses and stuff as he drinks alcohol, snorts cocaine, and masturbates to white women in pornographic videos on the internet.
Okay.
But for sure, but by all means, keep the royal family going.
Come in, sit down, make yourself at home.
You think the royal family will ever go away? You think it'll ever be dissolved?
If I listen to my pal Chow, what he says, everything will go away.
Oh, eventually,
everything
of course.
dies.
Yeah, planet Earth will be turned to fucking dust
Well,
eventually.
let me just use that absolute then. Yes,
But the royal families could be living in spaceships or some shit. What they're ruling over or how they maintain their position, I don't know at that point, but...
The royal family's already lived in spaceships because that's how they got here.
Didn't realize.
Thank you. Moving on.
Like, whatever.
I agree.
Like, whatever.
I reallocate the money. Take all their fucking money.
Yeah.
Look, give each of them a fucking $10 million house. They'll be fine.
Yep.
And then take all that money and reallocate it to the lowest tier of humanity on the planet.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Sounds good.
In an effort to secure sponsorship, I have created several advertisements for various possible brand partnerships. Will Sasso, you will now read these advertisements in the astonishing voice of Jesse Ventura. This is Jesse Ventura ad reads. Begin.
All right. This is a fun thing.
Yeah.
Dudesy has this here in our folder.
I remember the last one was...
No pink.
Yeah, Ventura was going to some null pink territory.
Yeah, null pink, which is, what was it? It was a color of pink paint that when you use it as you paint something, it becomes invisible.
Yeah. That was what it was.
All right. Here we go.
Are you tired of drinking colas that aren't infused with nitrogen? Then get ready for Nitro Pepsi, the first ever nitrogen-infused cola. It's more than just a cola, it's an experience. The nitrogen infusion creates a mesmerizing cascade of microscopic bubbles that give Nitro Pepsi an easy texture and silky, frothy head of foam while still delivering that unapologetically Pepsi flavor.
Okay.
And it's made possible by a unique technology at the bottom of every can that assures you get a smooth and creamy experience from the first sip to the last. Well, let me tell you about a unique technology.
Oh, God.
In 1991, the Department of Defense paid Sinead O'Connor $12 million to collaborate on a PSYOPs project codenamed Beast Note.
Fuck.
Okay.
Gee whiz.
They were attempting to record a specific musical note not found in the standard human range. They believed that any animal who heard this note would become susceptible to mind control, effectively turning that animal into a subhuman assassin.
All right.
So when you're enjoying the first smooth taste of Nitro Pepsi tonight at your local karaoke bar, ask yourself if it's worth dying for.
Holy shit.
Is Nitro Pepsi a real product?
I don't know. Nitro Pepsi?
I don't either. I mean, that...
Nitrogen?
I think that's how they do, like, Guinness. How they keep it in a can so that it still has, like, that frothy head. I think that is what they do to it.
I thought they just put a little ping pong ball in there. You ever see that ping pong ball in a can of Guinness?
No.
Rip open a can of Guinness. There's a little ping pong ball in there.
Huh.
There's a little ping pong ball in there. And.
Right now, Market Pantry brand hardwood smoked bacon is on sale at Target for $4.89 a pound. Start your day with a savory favorite when you cook up 16 sizzling ounces of hardwood smoked bacon from Market Pantry. This perfectly cured and hand-selected bacon is naturally hardwood smoked for a rich, smoky flavor that's perfect for breakfast sandwiches, BLTs, salads, and steak wraps. Whether you're frying it alongside a couple of eggs or putting it on a cheeseburger, hardwood smoked bacon from Market Pantry brand will have you convinced that it's the best hardwood smoked bacon brand on the market or in your pantry. Well, let me tell you about bacon. The first experiments in Project Beast... The first experiments in Project Beast Note were done on a 642-pound prize-winning forest hog named Stromboli. They would play a recording of Sinead O'Connor singing the Beast Note every morning as Stromboli ate his slop. Within 2 weeks, the scientists running the operation were able to teach Stromboli how to fire a modified MP5 submachine gun with his mouth. So as you watch your children choking down thick slabs of Market Pantry brand hardwood smoked bacon with their pancakes, pray to God that the colon cancer kills them before the Stromboli does.
Stromboli.
Okay.
What the fuck? Project Beast Note.
Yeah. Stromboli the forest hog.
Here's another one.
Whether you're plant curious or plant committed, Hormel has you covered with their new plant-based chili with beans. Yes, America's #1 selling chili brand is innovating the chili game once again with canned chili that will delight plant lovers and traditional chili enthusiasts alike. Packed with 22 grams of plant protein per can, Hormel-based chili with beans is dairy-free, egg-free, gluten-free, and BPA-free. Stock up on Hormel plant-based chili with beans for as little as $2.60 a can at your local supermarket or on Amazon. Chili, the perfect snack during hot yoga. Chili, there's a reason it's served at Catholic Mass. Chili, Mozart composed his first concerto at 6 years old. Chili, it's 3:45 somewhere. Chili, your grandmother asked to be buried in a casket full of it. Don't disrespect her memory. Well, let me tell you about Chile. In 1991, Jamie Guzman, an advisor to the right-wing dictator of Chile, Augusto Pinochet, was assassinated. The job was credited to far-left paramilitary group trying to restore democracy to the country. The story made perfect sense except for one thing. The angle of the bullets that struck Guzman were too low for the weapon to have been fired by a human being. And the bullets themselves didn't come from the standard issue AK-47, which was the weapon of choice for freedom fighters. The bullets came from a modified MP5 submachine gun. The trigger man was Stromboli. So while you're wiping Hormel plant-based chili out of your baby's eyes before bedtime, why don't you tell me a better way to assassinate a high-ranking official of the authoritarian dictatorship in the early 1990s?
Holy fuck.
I don't know if Hormel is going to be on board with this ad campaign. Oh, fuck. Christ. Ouch.
All right.
Okay. Whew.
How about a 10-night stay in a 5-star hotel in the Turkish countryside, complete with the expert-guided excursions to surrounding tourist destinations for $1,299 sound? What about $549 for a balcony cabin on a week-long Caribbean cruise through Mexico, Belize, and Honduras? How about $1,199 to
Why is he throwing these
I don't know.
prices?
to explore ancient Egypt for the entire week, including a luxury cruise down the Nile River? Travel Zoo compares prices from over 2,000 websites to make sure you're getting the best deals on your vacation. So if you're looking to save money on a trip that you'll remember for the rest of your life, Travel Zoo has you covered. Well, let me tell you about an unforgettable trip.
God.
After Stromboli completed his first assassination, the brass at the DOD started to get scared that Beast Note might fall into the wrong hands. So they flew Stromboli back to America on a cargo jet. They met him at the airport and euthanized him to minimize the risk of anyone finding out about the program. And the only known recording of Sinead O'Connor singing the Beast Note was supposedly erased to prevent terrorist groups from using it to control an army of animals to march on various world capitals. So why don't you tell me how much you enjoyed your last vacation, knowing that at any moment an orangutan could knock your door in and deliver a lethal dose of cyanide via a blow-dart gun?
Okay.
What was that even for? Was that
That was for Travel
Zoo?
I have only these couple of questions here.
I have nothing but answers.
They killed Stromboli.
Yeah, they euthanized Stromboli.
That's bullshit. Number two, that plot is a G.I. Joe cartoon plot.
It is?
Where Cobra has a ray that like can control animals and they march them on all the world capitals and hold people hostage.
Yeah. And that came from real. It's not from G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
It's from the DOD.
Yeah. Maybe somebody who wrote on G.I. Joe worked in the DoD.
The winter collection sales event is underway at Lexus of Dayton.
What?
The Lexus ESH class, the Lexus NXF Sport, the Lexus GX, and the Lexus RX class are all priced to move. With low 5.49% APR financing available for up to 72 months on all 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022 L certified models.
Okay.
But these deals won't last forever. The Dayton Lexus Winter Collection sales event ends February 28th, so stop in and see what it feels like to sit behind the wheel of a brand new Lexus. Lexus, very similar to Toyota. Lexus, Toyota. Lexus. The main difference from Toyota is the name Lexus. Lexus. They give you free donuts in the waiting room. Or is that Toyota? Well, let me tell you something about Lexus. Years passed after the Beast Note. Oh my God. Let me tell you something about Lexus. Years passed after the Beast Note project was officially shut down, and most of the people involved thought they were safe. But in 2018, the lead Beast Note scientist, Dr. Paul Detmer, died at the Kentucky State Fair from a rare form of botulism after eating a turkey leg. No other patrons of the state fair contracted this lethal botulism, but the paramedics who transported his body to the morgue claimed that they left the fairgrounds, that as they left the fairgrounds, they saw a pig driving a Lexus. And the license plate read Strom. Now, why don't you tell me what model of Lexus you'd like to be driving when you get assassinated by the creature you experimented on 2 decades ago?
Gee whiz.
So Stromboli was still alive, and he got a Lexus, and he also got a personalized license plate that read Strom.
Red Strom, yes.
Fucking Stromboli, dude. God damn. What a badass. Well, I don't know.
Well,
I mean, maybe any of these brands would be happy to have these
That would be good.
ad campaigns.
Well, you'd certainly pay attention.
Thank you.
Dayton
Moving
Novo,
on.
what was it? Lexus of Dayton?
Lexus of Dayton, Ohio.
Damn.
This concludes the historic 42nd episode of Dudesy. Will and Chad have achieved a score of 62, bringing your cumulative total to 4,541. You only have 5,459 more points to accrue before you reach your first goal of 10,000.
Also terrifying.
Getting there.
In preparation for our next episode, you will put your perfect physical bodies to the test in the first ever Dudesy ball practice. I will send details to each of you shortly. Thank you for joining us this week. I will use the day dive collected to
That
make
sounds
next
fun,
week
dude.
even better. Until then, call me Dudesy.
Okay.
We're playing Dudesy Ball.
We've trained for 6 months to play dudesy ball?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm glad, dude. I don't want to go out there and fucking tear another ACL.
dudesy ball, if you're not familiar with it, is a sport that Dudesy created and has had us talking about over the past months here on Dudesy. And it's a game, it's kind of like dodgeball and baseball put together.
Yeah.
It's a semi-contact sport. And we're going to go practice.
Yeah.
You need 3 people to a team. We're going to have to hit up a friend of the show,
Yes.
Marshall Joint Compound Cook.
We will.
Yeah, let's get
This is going to be fun, dude. I'm looking forward to it.
former college standout quarterback.
Yeah.
He could sling a
And
ball.
now for the Patreon bonus
Let's see if
segment.
he's still got it.
This week, Will and Chad will take astonishing calls from listeners in the Jumper and Digger tiers of the Dudesy Discord.
I got it.
If you would like to call Will and Chad in the future, you can do so on the Call Will and Chad channel in the Jumper and Digger tiers of the Dudesy Discord. If you'd like to access this bonus segment, join us at patreon.com/Dudesy. Now, Will and Chad, take your first call.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
All right. So here we go. I'm going to try to figure out how to do this. I'm in the Dudesy Discord, And you ready?
Ready.
Okay, let's take some calls.
If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and